We're bringing developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Thursday, February 12. Some senators are pushing to replace the Chinese ambassador amid their word war with Beijing diplomats. Senators J.B. Ejercito and Rafi Tulfo say a new, more diplomatic envoy could help improve relations between the Philippines and China. Earlier, spokesperson Ji Lingpeng said some senators were rude and disrespectful, citing incidents where Chinese diplomats were allegedly labeled as bullies and acting like a troll farm. Ji also questioned Senate President Tito Sotto's claims of Chinese disrespect, saying such remarks just show who is actually being rude. The Department of Foreign Affairs warns Filipinos against taking job offers abroad that could lead to recruitment into foreign armed forces. The DFA stresses that participation in foreign conflicts, including the Russian-Ukrainian war, can put Filipinos in grave danger and in violation of Philippine laws. Such could also cost them their citizenship. The warning comes after reports of 2 Filipinos allegedly fighting for Russia, 1 killed and 1 captured as a prisoner of war. Reward for information leading to the arrest of businessman Atong Ang has been doubled to 20 million pesos. The gambling tycoon is facing multiple arrest warrants for kidnapping with homicide and serious illegal detention. Earlier, a regional trial court in San Pablo, Laguna issued a warrant of arrest against Ang and 5 others over the missing Sabongeros case. Pio Velasco, who purchased the auctioned Rolls-Royce of the Discaya family, confirms he is a government contractor, but he says his company has never been involved in corruption. His statement reads in part, "We belong to the good contractors. We bid and build honest government projects." Velasco is the founder of the Stone Kingdom Cultural Park in Baguio City. The International Criminal Court Pretrial Chamber 1 has allowed both the prosecution and defense to present new evidence in the case against former President Duterte. The ruling clears the way for Duterte's defense to add 78 items, while the prosecution may include 2 more. The chamber ordered both parties to submit their final lists of evidence by February 13, 2026. Duterte's confirmation of charges hearing begins on February 23. And joining us today from the Philippine Star, ang bossing ng mga stars, si Ami Pamintuan. Hi, Ami!
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the late Ed
I
Lingao.
apologize for being late, both to Ami and to our viewers.
Salamat ka, wala si Principal.
Oo nga eh.
Kundi napagalitan ka.
Isa nga absent eh, di ba? So, but I cannot tell you why I'm late. I have to put it that way. There are things that are...
Hindi ka nakapag-date, ha?
Hindi.
Sabi ng simbahan, magba-Valentine
Hindi pa Valentine's
Sabi ni Papal Nuncio, para daw sa Valentine, dapat daw one of the activities of lovers should be to attend Mass.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Papal Nuncio yun.
Oh, yeah.
May survey pa. Valentine ulit. Valentine SWS survey.
Ano?
Record low daw. 46% ng mga Pinoy are not happy with their love life.
With their love life.
Oh, yan.
Okay.
Ano mga Valentine?
Did you need a survey to tell you that?
Oh, naman.
Ilang porsyento?
Record low daw.
Ilang porsyento?
46%. 46.
Are not happy.
Are not satisfied.
Wait. Is that a record low or record high?
Record low daw eh.
Record low ng...
Record low ang sinabi kasi dito sa summary. Oh.
Record low
Kaya
sa
record
happiness.
low. Oo.
Pero sa unhappiness, record high.
Very happy, unhappy. Oo, tama. Very happy. Record low. Kaya unhappy. Oo, tama. Kaya
tama,
unhappy sila.
Tama nga.
Maraming
Record low yung
unhappy.
very happy.
Oo. Kaya nga. Kukunti yung happy. Magsimba kayo para maging happy.
Well, okay. Okay, sige. Ang sabi po ni Ami
Ang mga umbrella
Pamintuan,
namin.
sumimba kayo para happy kayo. Kasi gusto namin happy ka.
Sabi ni PayPal Nuncio.
Oh. Bakit ba? Some people find happiness in
Kaya nga, kayo naman.
spirituality.
Oh.
So,
Oo nga, exactly.
So, yun.
Lalo na couples, di ba?
I will not see anything na. Baka matrouble ako. Buti wala si Prince.
Oo nga.
Buti wala si Ronald dito, no? Kung nandito
Oo
si
nga.
Ronald,
Lalo
kung saan
na.
mapupunta usapan, eh.
Oo nga.
Okay. Anyway, the first public consultation on the anti-political dynasty bill was held today, Thursday.
Oo nga, sa Cavite.
Yeah, and for details, we have mobile journalist Amy Atienza. Amy, what are the sentiments on the measure there in Cavite kung saan marami ring ganong problema?
Bok, Ami, isinagawa nga ng House Suffrage and Electoral Reforms Committee ang unang public consultation para mapag-usapan ang panukala sa anti-political dynasty sa Carmona, Cavite. Nagpahayag ng opinyon ang mga residente ng Cavite ukol sa usapin ng political dynasties. Ilan na ang nagsabi na nararapat isulong ang anti-dynasty bill dahil ito ang magiging solusyon para tuluyang umunlad ang bansa. Hindi rin daw kasi ibig sabihin na kung magaling ang naging pamumuno ng magulang ay siya na rin magagawa ng kanilang anak. Kaya ang nararapat, isulong ito hanggang sa 4th degree of consanguinity. Pero para kay Eddie na mula sa sektor ng mga kabataan, nakikita niya rin ang positibong epekto nito, gaya ng mas epektibong pagpapatuloy ng mga hindi natapos na proyekto ng kanilang mga kamag-anak. Nilalagay din sa konsiderasyon ng iba ang qualifications ng mga kakandidato. May ilang pumapabor sa dynasties dahil nakikita rin naman daw ang level of competency ng mga magkakamag-anak sa pamamalakad ng kanilang lugar. Ayon kay Suffrage and Electoral Reforms Committee Chairperson Gia Alonto Adjong, nasa 24 na bersyon na ang bilang ng mga natanggap na panukala ukol dito at isasagawa ang ganitong mga public consultation upang maging bahagi ng consolidated bill sa Kamara. Naniniwala naman si ACT Teachers Party List Representative Antonio Tino na maipapasa ng Kongreso ang anti-political dynasty bill. Nasa Senado na lang daw ang desisyon kung talagang maisasabatas daw ito. Panindigan din ni Tino na 4th degree of consanguinity ang dapat na isulong ng mga mambabatas. Bok, marami pa rin yung naniniwala na nararapat na mas tutukan talaga yung korupsyon ng mga opisyal kasama man sila sa political dynasty o hindi. Bukod nga kay Adjong at kay Tino, kasama rin sa konsultasyon si Cebu 1st District Representative Rachel Del Mar at Gabriela Women's Party List Representative Sara Elago. Bok, Ami?
Bok, 24 versions ayon kay Congressman Zia Alonto Adjong. That's what they have. Well, of course, we know what the speaker's position is already. Have they talked about a timeline when they expect to pass any of these bills by when?
So far, wala pang timeline na naibibigay, no, Bok, kung kailan nga maitatapos at kailan maisasabatas talaga itong anti-political dynasty bill. Pero nasabi na rin naman nila na effective nga yung ganitong mga public consultations dahil lived experiences naman daw yung naibibigay ng mga residente, lalo na dahil hindi lang naman sa Cavite ito gagawin. Meron din sila sa Cebu, pati na rin sa Cagayan de Oro.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, sinong namimili ng mga magpa-participate dyan? Puro walk-in lang ba yan?
Technically, inorganize din ito kasama yung mga local government units at syempre welcome naman halos lahat, hindi lang mga taga-Carmona. Actually, yung pumunta kanina, meron ding ibang residente, talagang collective naman na nagbigay ng pahayag yung mga residente talaga ng Cavite para nga dito sa anti-political dynasty bill.
Saka mga ilang consultations kaya yung balak gawin nila? Nationwide dyan, medyo malawak-lawak yung sasakupin nila eh. Ilan ba yung balak nila?
So far, yung schedule pa lang na nabibigay sa atin is by next week daw. Meron daw sila sa Cebu and then magpapatuloy yan hanggang Cagayan de Oro. So yun pa lang yung public consultations na nakukuha natin. And yun nga, magiging malaking tulong daw talaga ito para maisabatas yung anti-political dynasty bill dahil nga marami-rami na rin talaga yung versions na nakukuha nga ng Kamara para dito.
Okay. Ano Bok, let's let Amy go kasi si Professor July Tihanki is already waiting for us on the other end of the line. Amy, maraming salamat sa iyo. Amy Atienza,
Thank you,
ang ating
Amy.
Mojo. Okay. We discuss, of course, the
Okay.
political dynasty issue further with Professor Julio Tihanki. Dr. Tihanki is also a co-convener of the Anti-Dynasty Network. Professor, welcome back to Storycon and thank you for joining us.
Hi, Professor.
Sir,
Nakamute po
nakamute
kayo.
Good afternoon,
There you go.
Doc Ed and Ami.
Oo.
Good to be
Hi,
back.
hi.
There you go, sir. Sir, okay. The last we heard, target daw
Yeah.
nila is June. Gusto raw mapasa ng presidente ang isang anti-dynasty measure. Pero siyempre, alam mo naman, sa huli, magkakatulo talaga yan dun sa number 1, definition. Number 2,
Lahat actually. Lahat.
coverage.
Right.
Lahat actually.
Oh,
Yes. oo.
But ingay,
Yes.
how do you strike that balance? Kasi di ba, we want it passed.
Okay.
Obviously, we want it passed.
Yes.
But what is possible?
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yes. Oo. Yes, Ed. But the fact that we are where we are right now is already a great achievement, no? Because as we all know, 39 years, no? 39 years nang nakabinbin itong it's not even a suggestion but a command by the Constitution in Article 2, Section 26. No, it's a command. No, the state shall provide opportunities for equal opportunities for public service and ban political dynasties as may be defined by law. Of course, the framers of our Constitution left the definition or the defining to Congress, which is in itself a house of dynasties. No? So, nabinbin tayo ng 39 years, pero of course, the recent confluence of events have forced even the members of the political dynasties, and no less than the president, to really take this provision seriously because of public indignation, protest, and anger. And now, majority of the people are getting it. There's a strong link and strong correlation between political monopoly as characterized by dynasties and corruption. At ang pinakamalaking corruption scandal na nakita natin ay itong flood control infrastructure scandal. So, meron talagang tulak ngayon. So, even members of the political dynasties are trying to come out. So, ngayon, nakikita natin, Ami and Bok Ed, it's no longer a question of whether it will be passed. No? It's now, anong forma? No?
There you go.
Anong klase ba ito? No? So, may dalawa, no? Yung maximum, which is really within the spirit of that constitutional provision. Kasi, ang maximum talaga, there are 4 elements na dapat nating tignan. No? Sino ba? No? The relationship, yung kinship, yung tinatawag nating degrees. Of consanguinity
Yeah.
or affinity. Yung consanguinity, yung magkakamag-anak ayon sa dugo at yung affinity ayon sa pagkakasal, no? Yung by marriage, no? So, yun yung una, no? So, ang maximum ay hanggang 4. Ano ba yung 1 to 4, no? Yung 1 sa first degree, parents and children.
Children.
Oo, second degree, grandparents and siblings, mga kapatid. Third degree, aunts and uncle, no? And grand-aunts and grand-uncle at mga niece and nephew. Ang fourth degree, pinsan, no? Kasama yung pinsan. So, kung ang gusto natin ay talagang itigil na ang monopolya ng mga dambuhalang political dynasty, itodo natin hanggang 4th degree. Ngayon, may second element yan. Yung second element yan, timing. No? Kasi dati, pinapasa lang yan. Kaso nung nagkaroon ng term limit, nagkaroon ng incentive na sabay-sabay. No? Napabilis. No? Oo. So, ito ba ay sunod-sunod, yung tinatawag na teen dynasty, no? Or sabay-sabay, all at the same time, simultaneous, no? So isa pa yan ng source ng debate, or both, no? Yung third naman, anong posisyon? National, local, or both, no? Kasi meron din bagong definition na yon ng all dynasty. Meron ka sa national, meron ka pa sa local, no? And then lastly, ito yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. Kaya nagkakaroon ng problema ang mga dinastiya is because of yung cross-constituency. Ibig sabihin, sa provincial level, may gobernador or vice governor sabay. Tapos sa House, national office yun, may congressman. Tapos sa local, may
Party list.
mayor. Lahat, pati sa party list, pinasok na nila. So, cross constituency or cross jurisdiction. So, imagine nyo, yung scenario na paghawak lahat yan ng isang pamilya, naghahapunan sila, pinag-uusapan nila budget. Tapos may kamag-anak silang may negosyo doon sa probinsya. So talagang conflict of interest at dyan nagbe-breakdown yung accountability. So itong apat na ito, may iba't ibang permutation. No? So masasabi natin may interest na ngayon ang Kongreso ipasa na ito despite the fact na 39 years palaging hindi na ipapasa. Katulad nga na sinabi mo, Bok-Ed, 22 ang nakabinbin na batas ngayon,
24 na, sir.
nakahain na
24.
batas, no? 24 na. 24 na sa House. Sa Senado, 6, no? At mukhang seryoso sila kasi nung nung isang araw, umattend na ako nung pangalawang hearing sa political dynasty dito sa House, no? Isa ako sa mga resource persons, no? At naka-attend din ako sa Senado, no? Yung sa Senado, chaired by Senator Risa Hontiveros, no? Na mukhang itutulak talaga itong batas na ito. At sa House naman, isang progresibong membro din ng political dynasty ay si Congressman Alonto Adjong, no? So mararamdaman mo, no, at ito yung obserbasyon ko dun sa mga hearing. Dati kasi pag nagbe-briefing ako sa House, binabara ako. Pagtungkol sa dynasty, no? Oo, nababara ako. Ngayon, tahimik sila, no? At very respectful at pinakikinggan. So mukhang pinag-iisipan, no? So ang tanong na lang dito, anong klase, no? Yung watered down ba? Very minimum ba? Or meron mga panukalang batas na talagang punong-puno ng loopholes, no? So,
Yan ang itatanong ko sa inyo, Professor, considering the
Yes.
political realities. At
yes.
simula sa presidente natin hanggang barangay captain, may mga membro ng mga
Yes.
dynasty dyan. Ano yung nakikita nyo na pinaka-compromise siguro na mapapasa at pwedeng i-implement?
Yeah. Of course, politics is the art of the possible, no? And the key to politics really is negotiation and compromise. Now, of course, civil society and the reform constituency will push for the maximum, which is fourth degree, simultaneous and successive both national and local, and of course, plugging the loophole with the party list. No? So talagang yan, we stand on those principles. No? But of course, dun sa degree, no? Previously, well, yung fourth degree kasi, sabi ni Justice Carpio, even the Constitution recognizes that. Kasi sa Constitution natin, ang presidente bawal mag-appoint ng kamag-anak niya up to the fourth degree.
To the fourth.
Oo, tapos yung mga
Saka
statute...
anti-graft laws, di ba?
Anti-graft laws,
up to the fourth degree.
Yes, yung Code of Ethics for public
Yes.
officials, marami, no? Yung local government code, statutory laws, allowed na yung fourth degree. Ang sagot naman ng iba dyan, it's of course the possibility, no? Kasi ang house natin ngayon, 76% are from political dynasty. Ang Senate natin 83%, di ba? Puro magkakapatid sila doon, no? And then yung district seats natin is already 81% at yung even the party list 51% are occupied by dynasty. So talaga yung reality, the political reality, wala tayong ilusyon na easily ili-let go ng mga dynasty yung kapangyarihan nila, no? So hahanapan nila ng paraan para hindi ganun katindi ang tama sa kanila. Pero nare-realize din nila na galit na ang taong bayan, no? Hanggang saan nila pwedeng i-dribble to, no? So napakahalaga ngayon na magmasid at makialam ang lahat, no? Lahat ng sektor ng lipunan. Talagang tutukan tong isyong to kasi this is a very rare window of opportunity in which even the dynasties, even the elites are open to reforms, no? And consistent public pressure and of course lobbying would help. Ngayon, itong mga consultation na ito, of course, ano yan, no? double-edged yan, Ami, di ba? Kasi, syempre, punta kang Cavite. Cavite, alam naman
Puro
natin,
dynasty rin
pugad
doon.
ng mga, pugad ng mga
Sino
dynasty,
yung
no?
pinapunta ron, eh?
Oo. So, at the same time, yung Senate, naman, hearing, unang ginawa nila sa Pasig. Sa Pasig, napakaiba dahil nga yung convener ng aming grupo, isa sa mga co-convener ay si Mayor Vico
Vico Soto.
Soto, no? Isang
Vico
membro ng
Soto.
dynasty na nagtutulak ng
Yes.
anti-dynasty. And Pasig City Council did something very unique, no? They passed a resolution urging Congress to finally pass the anti-dynasty law. Even members of the local dynasties in Pasig were very supportive, no? So makikita mo rin naman dito yung leadership by example. Kung yung mayor mo reform-oriented, pati yung konseho reform-oriented. So they push for this. And sana tularan sila ng ibang mga LGUs, no? Pero yun nga, ang tanong dito sa mga consultation nito, which is always part of any legislation, of course, kailangan, lalo na kung ganito kabigat na batas, kailangan dinigin ang taong bayan. Nga, ang tanong, Ed and Ami, kung ito by truly deliberative or just legitimizing kung ano yung gusto nila. So again, public participation is important dito.
Pero sir, I don't think naman anybody's laboring under the illusion that we're going to get the ideal.
Of course.
I don't think anybody's
Of course.
laboring under that illusion. But so my question is this: what is acceptable, or what form would be acceptable and passable? Ibig sabihin may papasa ng Kongreso, or maybe it's the
Okay.
other way around. What form is
Yeah.
passable that will still be acceptable?
Yeah.
That can be enforced.
Of course, at the very minimum, of course, yung enforceability, kasi even the COMELEC chair, maraming technicalities talaga. Kasi hindi yan end all and be all. Hindi mo naman pag
Yes.
sinabing pinasa mo itong anti-dynasty, na-solve mo na lahat ng problema sa Pilipinas. Hindi, no? Kasi meron yan mga conflicting provisions sa ibang batas. Like for example, Omnibus Election Code, no? Tapos yung ibang mga Supreme Court decision of what constitutes a candidate, no? 'Di ba? Malaking problema yan. Tapos halimbawa, kung hanggang 4th degree, sabi ni Congressman Egay Erice, edi mauubos ang oras ng COMELEC kakatrace ng genealogy ng relationship.
Isang
No? So
kampinsan.
magiging commission on genealogy na yan. No? But then again, sabi rin ni Justice Carpio naman, hindi yan burden ng COMELEC or hindi yan burden ng nagpapatakbo ng eleksyon, kundi burden yan ng mga kandidato mismo, yung mga dynasties. No? So kung ako nga, sinabi ko, 39 years na namang namayagpag yung mga dynasty, hayaan natin sila naman ang problema. No? So kung ano man yung issue to, sila dapat ang humarap. And according to Justice Carpio, itong mga issues na technicality to, pwede naman i-cure ito dun sa batas na ibabalangkas at ipapasa ng Kongreso. No? So ang minimum, well, of course, ang minimum number para sa mga dynasty at sa iba na very practical naman is up to the 2nd degree. No? Pero kailangan sabay yung simultaneous at successive. Kasi pag pinaghiwalay mo yan, para kay ka pa nagpasa ng anti-dynasty bill, di ba? Tapos, national and local. Yung ibang panukala, para maging simple, hayaan na lang yung dynasty hanggang 2. Bahala sila kung isang national, isang local, 2 local, no? Hayaan mo sila ang problema among themselves, no? So, maraming pwedeng compromise, negotiation, but it really depends, no? How open members of Congress will be to a workable and realistic, no, anti-dynasty. Ang sa akin personally, maipasa lang ito dahil I don't think we can wait another 39 years or 40 years to pass this very important law, because this is an anti-political monopoly law. And political monopoly has been the root cause of clientelism, corruption, and all of this mess we are in.
Yung sa direct succession,
Yes.
Professor, may mga nagsasabi, baka daw ma-issuehan niya na class discrimination sa pagtakbo, sa pagtakbo. Magiging issue nga ba yun?
Isa yan sa mga natalakay sa committee hearing namin the other day with the constitutional and legal luminaries. No? The fact that it is already part of the state principles, no, sa Article 2, ibig sabihin, it is a unique no? Unique circumstance sa hindi yan tungkol sa qualification of a candidate, no? Right of a candidate, but this is an outright disqualification, no? So it's unique, no? Pero utos yan ng Constitution. So nasa Constitution yan, and in fact mataas, nasa Article 2, no? Declaration of State Principles yan. So pwedeng ilaban, sabi ni Justice Carpio at nila Justice Ascuna, no? And of course there are several jurisprudence naman that even the right to run or even the right to vote is not absolute, di ba? Kaya nga ang COMELEC may mga patakaran at may mga polisiya na nagre-regulate sa pagkandidato ng mga gustong tumakbo sa halalan.
Pero kapag ganyan, kailangan ng separate legislation for the COMELEC? O pwede na siyang embodied dun sa anti-dynasty law?
Yeah, ilalagay doon. And in fact, isa sa mga request ni Chairman George Garcia is make it definitive, no? Yung
Specific,
do not very specific, and do not leave room for COMELEC to interpret kasi diyan tayo magkakaproblema. Pag malabo, tapos syempre interpret ng COMELEC, may magrereklamo, dadali na naman sa Korte Suprema magdi-decide, di ba? So magiging judicial legislation na naman yan.
Sir, let me be the devil's advocate for a while. Is it possible that in our bid to finally get an anti-dynasty law passed, we could end up with a bill so diluted that that in the long term it will be more harmful than helpful in the electoral process?
Oo.
Masabi lang na complied na yung constitutional mandate.
Yes. Mabuti na tanong niya yan kasi ina-anticipate naman ng reform constituency yan. No? And, alam naman natin ang mga galaw din ito mga ito. No? So, may plan B. No? And what is plan B? No? Pag hindi maganda yung lumabas sa Kongreso, at in-announce na rin to ni Justice Carpio, at nag-meeting na, pupulong-pulong na lahat ng nagtutulak na anti-dynasty bill, no? Hindi lang ang Anti-Dynasty Network kundi lahat, no? Pati sila Isang Bayan, nila Justice Carpio, pati sila Attorney Alex Lacson na original na nagtulak dati ng Anti-Dynasty Law. Lahat yan nag-usap at even key sectors of Philippine society are now meeting up, business sector, youth, students, and even members of the church, no, are now meeting. Pag hindi maganda at maayos itong dynasty bill na ipapasa ng Kongreso, ididiretso natin sa People's Initiative. At tayo na mismo ang magtutulak ng talagang anti-dynasty law through People's Initiative.
People's Initiative.
Parang
pwede ba yun? Kasi charter change yun, di ba?
No.
Meron
Pwede
sa bills, di ba?
Kasi nasa People's Initiative dahil nasa Article 2, Section 26 nga as may be defined by law. Ano ba yung People's Initiative? Di ba? The people can endorse, no, a bill into law through a PI, a People's Initiative process. Nadadaan din sa referendum eventually. Di ba? So, kung hindi kaya ng mga dynasties magpasa ng tunay, no, at epektibo at talagang workable na anti-dynasty bill, taong bayan na magtutulak.
But sir, can you run us through that People's Initiative process again? How does that work? Kasi before we used to talk about it only with the constitutional
No. Charter change is different, no? Iba 'yon, no? Pwede ka rin magtulak ng charter change, no? Kasi kung gusto mong magpasa ng referendum through People's Initiative para magkaroon ng charter change. So, pero ito hindi charter change ang pinag-uusapan. Very specific to pass a law that will give substance to Article 2, Section 26 of the Philippine Constitution. And there, of course, yung details ng ilang percentage, there are certain percentage per district, no? Per province and national na kailangan mapuno yung signature campaign, no? This has been tried several times in the past. If you will remember, 2013 and even 2016. No, Ami, it's not charter change. It's
yung People's Initiative para saan?
Para sa anti-dynasty, nagkaroon din ng ganitong klase. Oo, very specific and not charter change. Meron din dati charter change yung panahon ni FBR,
panahon ni
GMA. panahon ni
Yes,
GMA, panahon ni FBR, iba yon, no? Ang sinasabi ko, nag-attempt na rin yung grupo nila, Attorney Alex Lacson, no? At
Lacson.
saka yung grupo nila, Dick Penson. Dati, dalawang grupo yan, nagtulak ng People's Initiative for anti-dynasty, no? So, hindi yung charter change, no? So, let's disabuse kasi baka mamaya gamitin yan against the People's Initiative campaign for anti-dynasty, no? So hindi, no? Very specific. Yung batas, no, yung alternative anti-dynasty law ang ipapaikot at yun ang magiging basihan for collecting certain percentage of signature at the district level, at the local level, provincial, tapos yung national. And if it will be verified by COMELEC. Pag yan ay na-verify na, diretso na yan, magiging parte ng isang referendum. No? At kung pumasa yan sa referendum, the people themselves will vote, no? Whether itong anti-dynasty bill through People's Initiative will become a law. No? So yun ang magiging plan B.
Sir, let me see if I remember this correctly. Parang
Yes.
somebody has to initiate a
Yes.
signature campaign in
Yes.
for a certain percentage in each congressional district.
Right, correct.
For one measure, one proposal,
Yes,
one
yes,
bill.
yes,
You might as well call it a
yes.
bill.
Yes.
I don't remember how many percent per district dapat may so many
Parang
percent
2% ba
pirma.
yata? 2% per district, no?
And
Ganon
then the
na.
COMELEC has to verify that each
Yes.
district got
Yes.
so many percent, maybe 2% nga.
Yes.
If that is verified to be true nga, mga sabihin
Legit.
natin,
True.
250 or 260 districts
Yeah.
all over the country have
Yes.
2% thereabouts na pumirma, then it will be put to a referendum,
Yeah.
a
Yes.
general referendum of all
Yes.
the voters.
Yes, yes.
And its majority
Oo.
wins. Tama ba?
Yes, of
Or
course.
is it majority wins or-
Plurality. Kung
Plurality.
marami,
Plurality.
kung manalo yung boto, kung makuha lahat yung boto, then...
Kasi yes or no lang naman.
Yes,
So kung
yes,
ano
no,
lamang,
then
kung
automatically
yes or no.
it becomes a law, right? Yeah.
Medyo siya, no? Masalimugot siya.
Masalimot
No?
nga.
Yeah. Not
Yung
necessarily, no?
experience
But
natin with mga pirma-pirma, medyo
right. Yeah,
Hindi
yeah.
maganda.
Pero hindi nga, because of the experience with the previous attempts, yung sa PIRMA, tsaka yung sa charter change, tsaka yung previous attempts din sa anti-dynasty,
pinaka-latest. Yeah.
alam na, 'di ba? Alam na 'di ba? Alam na paano ang diskarte, no? And I think it's workable this time around, no? So, yeah, that's the alternative, 'di ba? Kasi pag wala, 'di ba? We'll have to wait another 40 years
Okay.
for a genuine
Sir,
reform.
let me turn the question around. Kanina kasi what's acceptable and possible eh. What is unacceptable?
Well, unacceptable. Halimbawa, yung kunwari, fourth degree, pero pwede naman tumakbo sa different levels of government, di ba?
That sounds like the BOGD
Yun na nga.
formula.
Yung clustering yun, clustering.
Oo. Parang hindi mo binan, no? Nilegitimize mo lang yung dynasty, no? Kasi, unang tingin ko, fourth degree, wow! Galing. Kaso, pag binasa mo,
May cluster.
national,
Yun, clustering.
district,
Provincial.
local, and municipal. Kasi hindi pa kasama yung ban on party list. No? So, lahat pwede. Ngayon, kung bibilangin mo, there are around 12 elective position, national, local. No? Dun sa bill na yun, pag yun ang naging batas, yung pamilya pwede pa rin tumakbo sa 12 positions, no? At manalo, di ba? Di may dynasty pa rin, di ba? So,
Iba-iba lang ang cluster nila.
iba-iba lang yung cluster, no? Kasi ang mangyayari doon, walang ban on simultaneous na vertical, no? Di ba? Di ba? Horizontal
naman from
lang.
20 to 12, di ba improvement yun?
Ay, naku.
Good luck sa atin, Professor.
Pinagmamalaki pa nila. Nagpapapicture pa sila lahat dun eh.
Hindi, pero mukha namang alam naman nila na medyo malakas ang resistance ng mga tao dun sa version na yun.
What about yung petition sa Supreme Court? Hindi pa resolved yun eh.
Hindi pa. Isa pa yun, no?
Asking the Supreme Court to compel
Okay.
Congress
Okay.
to
So that's-
implement.
The third scenario would be, kasi there are four petitions right now
Yes.
in the Supreme Court. No, one is by Isang Bayan, the other one is by Kapatiran Party, and the third one is by the UP law professors. No, and then a fourth one also by Attorney Alex Lacson. No, now the Supreme Court has consolidated all of these petition and they're just deliberating. No, so baka mamaya waging Muten Academic, biglang maglabas na naman ng Supreme Court ng decision,
Yeah.
and similar to the impeachment and similar to even the party
Judicial
list, no?
legislation.
Party list, no? Sila na ang magdi-define kung ano
Yeah.
ang dynasty, no? And then pag yun, back to square one tayo, kailangan maglabas talaga ng batas ang Kongreso.
Pwede
Okay.
bang i-define ng Supreme Court yun? Dahil
Pwede.
ayaw gawin ng Kongreso eh.
Pwede,
Up to
pero
the fourth degree. Bawal
Yeah.
ang direct
Yeah.
succession. Pwede ba
Pero
yung minimum lang?
may previous decision na kasi sila na hindi pwedeng pakialaman ng Supreme Court because of the separation of power. Ang kapangyarihan ng
Bakit yung
mag-legislate.
Impeachment, sir.
Pero ang sabi nga nila Justice Carpio, command yan ng mandato yan from the Constitution, and after 39 years it's already grave abuse of discretion, no? So yun yung petition ngayon ng Sambayan na kailangan ng kumilos ang Supreme Court, no, para
To correct
sabihan
the
ang
abuse.
yung abuse of discretion na 39 years na hindi wala pa rin kayong nilalabas.
Okay. Sir, we
Okay.
were out of time, but we'd like to say thank
Yes.
you to political scientist Dr. Julio Tihanki for talking to us and giving us
Thank you.
his wisdom, especially in political issues. Maraming salamat for joining us this
Thank
afternoon,
you.
Professor
Thank you,
July Tihanki.
Professor.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. See you again. You're watching StoryCon on One News. We just need to take a break. We'll be right back. We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to StoryCon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao, and of course, with us, aming pamintuan ng Philippine Star. Hi, Ami. Thank you for staying with us.
Hello.
And at this point, let's get some updates from the Senate. Kasama natin si Mojo Merimon Reyes over there sa Senate. Merimon, anong balita dyan?
Bok, sa ngayon, yung ilan sa mga nakapanayam natin dito ng mga senador, nakausap natin sila tungkol naman sa parang pagsagot ng Chinese Embassy sa kanilang resolusyon, sa mga naging statement nila. At napansin nga ni na Senator Erwin Tulfo, ni na Senator J.D. Ejercito, and maging si SP Soto na even yung mga pag-uusap nila sa plenary floor sa mga sesyon, parang lahat din nagkakaroon ng say ang Chinese Embassy. Ang nasabi dito ni Senator J.D. Ejercito, hindi sila dapat maging hostile, lalo pa nandito sila sa host country. Pero ang nakikita niya, mukhang maganda raw na palitan na itong mga opisyal ng Chinese Embassy, lalo hindi na raw maganda yung kanilang inikilos, lalo pat ang gusto lang naman nilang gawin, especially from the Senate with their Senate resolution, maprotektahan daw yung karapatan ng mga mangingisda, the freedom of navigation, and yung safety ng mga nagde-defend ng WPS, kasama na rin dyan ang mga Coast Guard at even yung mga vessels ng ating bansa. At ano pa nga dito, sabi ni Senator JB, should not be hostile, nalo dito sila sa host country. They have been very hostile against the officials of our government. At yun nga, nakikita niya pa nga dito, pwedeng ito sila Chinese Embassy spoke, sila Jing Shuen, kung pwede, palitan. Though hindi na bring up masyado yung tungkol doon sa pinag-aaralan na pag-declare sa kanilang mga opisyal na persona non grata, pero ito yung sentiment nila so far. Ang sabi ni kanina ni Senator Robin Padilla, na nakapanayam din ng media, karapatan daw ng Senado na magsalita tungkol dito, lalo't pat at ang ine-express nila ay yung sentiment hindi lang daw ng Senado, kundi ng mga taong nagiging apektado nito.
Okay. Pero Bok, of course, I understand pag may bardagulan, that's one thing. Pero kung hihingin ng Senado ang pagtanggal o paglipat ng isang miyembro ng diplomatic mission, ibang level na yan.
Persona non grata yun.
Oo, may repercussions na yan. And we expect repercussions as well from their end in Beijing.
They can also do it to
Oo.
our
And not
diplomats.
just with our diplomats, but as well with our products. like what they did in
And
2012.
our OFWs.
Oo.
Exactly, Bo. Kaya ang nasabi naman ni Senator Erwin Tulfo, Chair ng Committee on Foreign Relations, yung next step forward tungkol dito, ipinapaubaya muna niya sa Department of Foreign Affairs. Kasi nga, ang sabi naman daw ni Secretary Lazaro, yung sa pagbuo ng Code of Conduct, mukha namang amenable ang China. So first, they are hoping for the very best. Pero for the other senators, for example, sila Senator Risa Ontiveros, na very vocal sa issue na ito, ang sinasabi niya, hindi raw sila mapapatahimik, hindi raw mapapatahimik ang Senado ng Embahada ng bansang China, at legitimate and appropriate tool ang Senate resolutions para ito yung magiging papel nila para sa pagsasalita tungkol sa issue na ito, Bo.
Merimon, sinong pinatatanggal nila? Yung ambassador ba mismo o yung mga diplomats? Kasi yung mga spokesperson actually yung maaanghang ang salita.
Ang natanong natin kanina kasi kung kasama ba doon sa nakikita ni Senator JB na kung pwedeng palitan ay si sila Jing Shuen. Ang sabi dito ni Senator JB, mukhang oo, I think so. Yun daw yung nakikita niya na kung maaari palitan. Lalo pa na iba naman na seated pa ng wala pang lagpas na 2 buwan. So nakikita niya dito na hindi raw naging maganda na nga. Ang sabi pa kanina ni Senator JB sa isang message, dapat daw pala nagsalita siya in Chinese kasi nakapag-aral siya sa eskwelahan na natutunan niya raw yung lengguwahe in Czech para raw maintindihan daw ng mga opisyal ng Chinese Embassy. Pero we'll save that for next week kapag nakapanayam natin ulit itong si Senator JB.
So hindi
Alam
naman
ba nilang nakipag-usap si John Vic Remulla saka yung Chinese ambassador, nag-usap na ngayong araw discussing ways of diffusing the tension. Alam ba nila? Kaya nila yan.
Hindi natin yan natanong, pero pare-pareho naman yung sentiment ng mga senador dito. Ang nais lang daw nila, especially doon sa Senate Reso number 256, is ma-forward nila yung pinakasentimiento, hindi lang naman nila ng mga nausebrahan, yung mga nabibiktima raw ng panghaharas sa WPS. And so moving forward, they are very much hoping kasi doon sa Senate Reso, inaasahan nila na ang DFA ay magpupursue rin ng diplomatic efforts para masiguro na maganda yung relasyon ng mga karating bansa, especially with China on the tops of the WPS.
So open din sila na mag-improve naman yung ties.
Yes, exactly. Kasama na rin dyan yung lengguwahe na, according pagdating sa diplomatic relations, hindi naman lumalabas na mukhang nagkakaroon na sila ng bardagulan in the sense.
So yung target naman nila is not the ambassador himself. It's the spokesman of the embassy. Did I get you right?
Well, ang sabi kasi ni Senator JB, natanong natin, dapat bang palitan si Ambassador Jing Shuen? Sabi niya dito, the current embassy officials, napapansin niya raw, parang hindi nila ginagawa yung on their side, yung pag-improve or improving yung relationship between China and the Philippines. So walang naging specific names talaga, pero in retrospect, ang nakikita ni Sen. JB, etong mga to na hindi nagpupursue ng effort para maging maganda yung relasyon ng dalawang bansa, para maganda raw na palitan ang mga yun. So,
Okay, but of course the ambassador is the head of the mission.
Yes.
And the spokesman speaks for the mission lang, I suppose on
Yan
behalf
na nga,
of the
yun din yung actually
missionary.
sinabi ng spokesman na gusto nyo expel nyo ambassador.
Yun ang implication.
Baka nidagdag ko na lang din, ang nasabi rin dyan na Sen. JB at ni Senator Rafi Tulfo, wala naman daw intimidation, walang initiative, walang efforts from the Senate to intimidate. Ang ginagawa na daw talaga nila, pinaglalaban lang yung karapatan ng Pilipinas. And according to SP Soto, once again, respect begets respect.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Mojo Merimon Reyes reporting live from the Senate. Maraming salamat, Merimon.
Thank you, Marymon.
And thank you for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamintuan. sorry ang editor-in-chief ng Philippine Star. The late Ed Lingao. Just again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Ed Lingao. Kapatid, we are one news, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.